look, it's the dust season. How fun. Oh, there should be a new collectible like mushwood. Yes, I always need mushwood. Very useful. Let's see. Our reasoning is actually pretty high. We could probably get it soon, so maybe let's do life. Oh, no, wait. But the harvest is coming up. I should help in geoponics. Maybe we'll work here some more? One of your experiments goes a little wild and Congruence has to slam up the safety containment controls to lock you inside the lab. Scary. Luckily, it's a false alarm, just some weird spores you accidentally unleashed when you cut into a seed pod. You analyze them and determine they don't pose a risk to the rest of geoponics. Well, that's good. 2, 4, 4. And it's Vertumna! Time for speeches, games, and feasting! You stare hungrily at the feast table. Sure, it's mostly soy rations, but it's still more food than you usually see at one time. This year, though, there's something new. Great pink tureens of glowing beans. Weird. Oh no. And while I'm thinking about it, let me switch. Okay, I still can't. Okay, that's fine. You try to sneak some food before the speeches start, but Chief Engineer Instance catches you and smacks your hand away. Your mom gets really mad at her, and it causes a huge yelling match. Your dad directs you away from the table as Instance blames your mom for the way things are right now, whatever that means. Your dad passes you a soy sweet to keep your tummy busy during the speeches. He's the best. Governor Udicott takes the stage and manages to calm everyone down. Welcome everyone to our 4th Vertumna celebration, she says, speaking through a maxiphoner. Her voice has been getting weaker lately and can't reach across the square the way it used to. I'm proud, as always, to stand before you as your governor, and to celebrate another year of peace and prosperity on this beautiful planet. Udicott steps aside, wobbling a little as she walks, leaving Seek to complete the annual formalities. Your mom steps forward. This year's feast includes a new glow-in-the-dark food. Pixie beans are our first domesticated Vertumnan crop. The crowd applauds, and your mom raises her hands. Credit goes to Geranium. He insisted that we dedicate a third of our fields to them, so you'll also have to thank him for the light show in your toilets tonight. A smattering of laughter ripples through the crowd. Your dad chuckles nervously. Your mom's smile fades. As you know, we lost our hydroponics and microbial soil during the wormhole accident, she says. These pixie beans will make up for the losses we faced with our earth crops. No, they won't. Udicott's weedy voice rattles through the maxiphoner. Thank you, everyone. Let the games begin. The crowd packs away with chairs as the children gather in the square. Which competition do you participate in this year? Maybe the science fair? Tangent's science fair project is monstrously complicated. She gives a 20-minute speech about cell division in a few different Vertumnan species that goes not just over your head, but the heads of everyone in the crowd. What is she even doing locked up in that lab all day? Instance is intrigued. She asks Tang a series of questions, soon honing in on something Tang overlooked. Tang is so upset with herself she can barely finish answering. Tammy is also competing this year. She charms the judges by showing off her beaded bracelets, each with an illustration of a DNA double helix. Oh, that's cool! The judges compliment her scientific accuracy as she ties one on each of their wrists and teaches everyone how to make them. It's my turn! Well, you know what? It'd be okay if Tammy wins. It'd be cool if Tammy wins. Your project this year is on the power generation, explaining the way the colony will be able to generate power once the nuclear engines eventually need to be turned off. But it's such a huge project, you basically just sound like you copied a bunch of Holopedia articles. You made a model of a hydroelectric dam. Well, sort of. You were so busy, you ended up just putting a bucket of water on the table and labeling it a dam. Up river from a bunch of dolls. Not great. Tangent wins, accepting with a surprised look on her face. She must have thought the one mistake totally took her out of the competition. Finally, it's time for the feast. The pixie beans are a hit. Your parents keep tooting their many benefits. They grow well here, they're super nutritious, taste great, they're really versatile, and the kids love their bright multicolored glow. Your rumbling stomach has made you grouchy. Your parents won't let you eat until they finally stop bragging about their dumb beans. You consider the options: pixie bean soup, pixie bean salad, pixie bean chili, and even pixie bean aquafaba dessert. Everything glows in the evening twilight. You suddenly shove the pixie bean everything around on your plate. You don't even want to eat them anymore. Stupid beans, stupid feast, stupid games, stupid everyone. Every time someone turns to talk to you, especially about how great these beans are or how great your parents are for growing them, you just get more irritated. They're just beans. It's like they love these beans more than they love you. I'm probably just hungry though. Yeah, but we know that the pixie beans mess with people's minds, especially teenagers, so maybe I shouldn't eat them. Yeah, who says you have to eat a bunch of stupid glowing gimmick beans? They're not the boss of you. You get to decide what goes in your body. Your dad is amused, but your mom isn't so forgiving. Eat your food, Solanna, she says sternly. We worked hard to make this food for you. Neither of those seemed like a good option. But I tried to warn you. Your dad tries to calm the situation, but your mom slams her fist on the table. The noise makes everyone nearby stop talking and turn to stare at you. Eat your dinner, Solanna, she shouts. I'm sick of your attitude. Fine. You want to rebel against these stupid beans, but the truth is, you're too hungry to resist. You count backwards from 10 to calm yourself down so you don't blow up at your mom. Why is she smiling all the time? Ugh. Because the beans mess with your minds. You settle on glowering at her over your plate of glowing beans. She notices but just purses her lips and turns away from you to talk to someone else. Rude. You shovel the food into your mouth, trying not to look like you're enjoying it. Okay, it is as delicious as everyone said, and you start to feel more human the more you eat. Right, yeah, food. Food is great. You do feel better after you eat something. Everyone's in high spirits after dinner, breaking off to little groups to talk or make music together as the sky darkens for the shortest night of the year. You feel your mood improve by the minute as your friends pull you into a fun rhythmic clapping game. As your irritation fades, you wonder if this is what congruence meant when she warned that your hormones would make you feel out of control sometimes. When you go back to your quarters to get ready for bed, your dad gives you a big hug. It's exactly what you needed. Oh, Dad. You spot your dad playing cards with two of the other agriculturists. You don't recognize the game, but you watch your dad throw down his hand and groan, then peel off his shirt and toss it into the pot. I'm literally losing my shirt over here, he says, and his two friends laugh uproariously. Your dad wipes his eyes, chuckling, then sees you. Oh, hey, Solanna, you need something? No, just wanted to check on you. Hey, Cal. What are you working on? Cal is looking a little sickly. Well, I found this really pretty flower growing in the garden. I have never seen it before. You take a look at it and soon begin to feel sick yourself. Wait, is this plant radioactive? What? It's radioactive, Cal says, backing up quickly. Good thing you knew that. What do we do? You're not sure, but if you study it in geoponics lab, you might be able to figure out how to neutralize the radiation. Okay, I guess that's what I'm doing this month then. You're really in the groove of munching on Dagla roasted pixie beans and just feeling like everything is going right for once. You catch yourself giggling for no reason. For fun, you decide to put a pixie bean through the analyzer. Sure, your dad already studied them, but there's gotta be stuff you still don't know about them. Like, you only just discovered today how incandescently delicious they are roasted. Maybe you can figure out why they glow. Then you could make everything glow, like glowfish. The analyzer spits out a bunch of info and congruence helps you interpret it. She says, as if she needs to ponder anything. These readings are different than the initial ones, suggesting possible amplification with certain hormones for higher bioreactivity in situ. In regular words, please, congruence. Pardon me, Solanna. I mean, they might mess with human brain functions under some conditions. We should perform the analysis again. This sounds important. You run more samples of roasted pixie beans through the analyzer, but you only get more frustrated. Are you certain these are clean samples? Congruence asks. I'm detecting anomalies in the readings. Excuse me for asking, but have you washed your hands? You, Congruence, yes. You don't know what to do. You try everything, even scrubbing the beans clean with acid. Congruence reverts to her most robotic focus entirely on figuring out this puzzle. When her normal chipper voice goes monotone and cold, it makes you feel so lost. You're never going to get this right. Feels tears pricking, but we need to figure out what's going on. You wipe your eyes and try to focus. One of the samples are finally scanned. You help Congruence run simulations to see what effect the pixie beans might have on different types of brain chemistry. Do you have permission to do this, Solanna? It requires significant power, she asks. You wave your hands at her. Of course, sure, whatever you feel. No one's here to stop you, right? Processing all the simulation data makes the greenhouse lights flicker. You might get in trouble for that later, but what do you care? You're doing science. Congruence chews on the results for, well, less time than it would have taken you, but still an appreciable amount of time for her, a supercomputer. She says finally. Solanna, have you been feeling not yourself lately? As if your thoughts and your reactions are more dramatic? Even more so than usual? Well, now that I think about it, obviously we test for toxicity before we clear native plants for consumption, Congruence continues, but there are limitations. For example, accounting for the hormonal fluctuations of people undergoing puberty. Congruence explains that these seem to be a chemical in the pixie beans that hyperbonds to the estrogen and testosterone that combine, and that combination of molecules activities receptors in your brain way more than just the hormones alone. The chemical will build up over weeks first, then it's going to hit a flashpoint and you look at the beans. You've been munching all afternoon, all week. Uh-oh. You call your dad in to take a look over at your findings. There's no way, he mutters as he scrolls his holopalm, then stops. Well, I'll be Gemini'd. How are you feeling, Solanna? You look over from where you've been balancing a sample beaker on your forehead. The beaker slides off and you bounce it off your knee a few times before catching it. Then you burst out laughing for no reason at all. Your dad blinks at you. Well, that answers my question. We've got to stop eating those beans right now. Your dad looks distraught. Lulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair, rubbing his eyes. I was right. I told you. I tried to warn you. She didn't trust these things, but she's going to be so upset we didn't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. Back in the lab, you have all the right equipment to properly examine the radioactive plant you found. Maybe you can find a way to protect yourself from them so you don't need to drag a radiation-proof envirosuit with you every time you go to that part of the planet. Radiation poisoning isn't the killer it used to be on Earth. With medbeds, you can flush all the deadly doses of radiation in a few hours. It could still make you really sick though, and a high enough dose could kill you before you're even able to reach a medbed. How confident are you that you know how to protect yourself? Not at all, actually. Good call. Maybe you could come back again later after collecting more samples. Okay. Oh hey! That one was a super goal. And I guess we'll figure out which activity to do for this month next time.